But what we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. Well, come on, man. That kid was a cakewalk.
Wrong, nigga wrong. Canelo always has had a problem with boxers. He always struggles when he fights a boxer. Anybody knows that if you can box and take a punch, you gonna give him a hard time. Bud is not one of these guys that's gonna quit.
Bud Crawford soundly defeating Canelo Alvarez. We thought that maybe he could have won by even a further margin on the scorecards. He gets it done unanimously. Teddy, can you put into words what we just saw from Terence Crawford?
Well, the only thing I wonder is if Crawford was born and made in a laboratory.
Floyd Mayweather took shots at Canelo Alvarez after his defeat to Terence Crawford, saying Canelo is no longer the fighter he used to be and that people have always overrated him. Mayweather said he trusted Crawford from the beginning and proved it by betting $50,000 on him, which turned into a huge payday. An X account even posted the betting slip, pointing out that Mayweather cashed in big after wagering on Crawford. Despite the loss, Canelo carried himself with confidence, praised Crawford as a great fighter who earned the win, and made it clear he isn't done yet. He stressed that he still feels physically strong, mentally focused, and ready for the future, even expressing interest in a rematch with Crawford, showing that his pride, spirit, and competitive drive remain unshaken.
I can say to him, I feel great to share the ring with great fighters like him. And if we do it again, it's going to be great. But you know what? I'm glad to share the ring with great fighters. And I'm glad to be here. I already did a lot in boxing. I already accomplished a lot in boxing. My legacy is already there.
Ryan Garcia reacted to Terence Crawford's dominant win by praising him as possibly the greatest fighter of all time, saying Crawford's performance showed rare skills and mindset that put him in a legendary class. Veteran trainer Teddy Atlas compared the fight to Canelo Alvarez's earlier loss to Floyd Mayweather, arguing that Canelo has always struggled with quicker, sharper opponents due to flaws in his footwork and hand speed. He explained that Crawford, despite being inactive for a year, came fully prepared, using his timing and movement to shut down Canelo's power the same way Mayweather once did. Atlas emphasized that the fight exposed Canelo's ongoing struggles against elite technical boxers, while Crawford's victory further strengthened his legacy.
In the beginning, that if you go back, and I know it was a lot of years ago, I get it, but you have to have something to point at. If you go back to when he lost his first fight, of course, Canelo I'm talking about, to Mayweather, it wasn't just that his hands were too slow, his feet were too slow. And he's in there with a guy with quick feet and quicker hands. You know what? It doesn't matter how big he is. What did Ali say? Your hands cannot hit what your eyes cannot see. That was tonight. It was great.
Let's put some context on this.
It was great.
Let's put some context on this victory first. A year out of the ring. I think it was like 13 some odd months out of the ring, okay?
Yeah, really?
Yeah. 2 weight classes. Think about that.
Yep.
He had surgery early at the beginning of the year. Surgery, on shoulder surgery, right? Not sure which one. And to come in here and to put on that type of performance against Canelo that actually is coming off a performance, right? You expected Canelo to be sharp. He was sharp. However, what Crawford did was he took the air out of the ball.
Yep.
He used this. That's what boxing's about, people. It's about this. Strategy. That's what he had. He used his feet. He understood Canelo every single movement. That's why Canelo couldn't land any shots on him. He knew what was coming. He knew that the looping right hand was going to come from the southpaw position. So what did he do? Hold the phone. He knew that the hook to the body was going to come. What did he do? Block, and he shot up with counters.
One of his great assets that we don't hear about enough. One of those things that are not so easily as immeasurable on paper, but it's eyes. Vision.
Focus.
Yeah, we know the physical ones we talk about and we understand so easily. Speed, power, quickness, legs, all that stuff. But eyes, radar. This guy's got infrared.
Sports journalist Ariel Helwani quickly shared the official decision on social media, confirming what many had already sensed as Terence Crawford defeated Canelo Alvarez by unanimous decision with scores of 116-112, 115-113, and 115-113. The close numbers showed competitiveness, but the judges agreed Crawford controlled the fight throughout. Helwani's post spread fast, marking the historic moment of Crawford beating one of boxing's biggest names. The result highlighted not just a win, but a disciplined and calculated performance that elevated Crawford's status among the sport's elites. Teofimo Lopez, known for his boldness in the ring, praised Crawford's achievement, calling it a showdown between two of the world's best where the right man came out on top. Lopez went further, saying Crawford now deserves a spot in the top 10 all-time greats, crediting his style, composure, and execution as proof he's carving his name into boxing history. Such recognition from an active champion only reinforces how massive this victory truly is within the boxing world.
In terms of his prime, how can you gauge it?
Doesn't matter. We saw a great fight tonight, did we not? That's all that matters. Two guys risked it, and the better man won tonight. That was Crawford.
Terence got it right. Is there no need for a rematch, or do you want to see running back? Because it was pretty good, like you said.
No, it was pretty, it was really good, actually. So it's up to the jam. He's a jam. He can do whatever he wants.
What do you think happens with Canelo next after this?
What happens to Canelo after this? It don't matter. He's made a big statement for not only Mexico or the pride of Mexico, but for all Latinos right there. So he's done a great job for himself, man. Nevertheless, Crawford is on his way, continuing to create greatness.
Mentally.
What's up? I know boxing. I just know stylistically. I've been in the gym with. I've shared the ring with Canelo, and then I see that. So
they were saying that if he beats Canelo, it could put him as even the greatest of all time. What does that put him in the all-time list, man?
At least top 10.
At least
top 10 or top 15, easily. You know, there's guys that we may not know of or heard of, like Henry Armstrong. Simultaneously, he was 3 divisions carrying all 3 weight divisions at the same time.
Which performance was better? I don't like to compare them, but Crawford or Mayweather's over Canelo. Like it's just different.
It's just different styles, different looks. You know.
At the post-fight press conference, Canelo Alvarez was asked to compare his experiences facing Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford, and his answer quickly stirred discussion. He admitted that Crawford impressed him more, especially in the later championship rounds where precision and control are critical. Canelo even went as far as to say, "I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather," a bold remark that both praised Crawford's performance and fueled debate among fans about how these two legends stack up in boxing history.
In the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
After the loss, talk about Canelo Alvarez's future quickly heated up, with his words and body language suggesting retirement could be on his mind now that Crawford has taken center stage. Many describe the fight as a schooling, with Crawford's ring IQ and adaptability allowing him to dominate and claim the belt. The win is already being hailed as historic, placing Crawford among the greatest fighters of this generation. For Canelo, the defeat sparks questions about whether his reign at the top is over, while for Crawford, it confirms his role as the new face of modern boxing.
Was going to create history. I told you guys this before he fought Sean Porter. I said that Terence "Bud" Crawford can beat first ballot Hall of Famer and superstar and legend Canelo Alvarez. I've been saying this for years, that Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. And tonight, he did just that. He did just that. Not only did he beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, but he arguably retired Canelo Alvarez, who after the fight, Canelo Alvarez stated that he's done everything that he needed to do in the sport of boxing. When asked do he want a rematch with Terence "Bud" Crawford, Canelo Alvarez said, "It's no need." He gave no indications of a rematch. And Canelo Alvarez stated that he's a Hall of Famer, he's a winner, just being there made him a winner, right? And he stated that he's done everything he needed to do in the sport of boxing. That's what he said. Canelo Alvarez got schooled once again. I told you guys, styles make fights. This style, this particular style of boxers and counterpunchers and movers has historically given Canelo Alvarez problems. And as I told you guys, right? Terence Crawford can fight any which way he chooses to fight. He's just that much more versatile. And everybody didn't believe me. They said I was tripping. Canelo was too big. He gonna knock out Terence Crawford, right? He too big, too strong. Terence Crawford get hit. Terence Crawford don't box, don't move. And I told you guys, when Terence Crawford wants to move and wants to box, right, he can. And he would, right? And guess what? Terence Crawford, I told you guys, when he fought the likes of Victor Postol, right? Y'all said that, oh, he don't move that much. I said, did you look at his fight with Victor Postol? Did you look at his fight with Jose Benavidez? Yeah, well, those guys ain't Canelo Alvarez. And I told you guys, it doesn't matter if they're Canelo Alvarez. It's about Terence Crawford's ability to be able to maneuver around and box in every which manner he so chooses. If he wants to incorporate that style that he boxes and moves, he could. And what did he do tonight? I said Terence Crawford can fight at every level. Didn't I tell you guys that? I said Terence Crawford can fight in mid-range. He can fight on the outside. He can fight on the inside. Canelo Alvarez cannot. Y'all asked me, why aren't you talking about what Canelo Alvarez could do great? And I told you, because we know what Canelo Alvarez is going to do. He's going to fight. He's consistent in who he is and how he fights. Period.
Boxing legend Andre Ward praised Terence Crawford's performance as a historic win, calling it a generational fight that fans will remember for years. He said moments like this define careers and separate great fighters from true legends. Ward highlighted how Crawford dismantled Canelo while staying disciplined and composed, framing the victory as a GOAT moment. In doing so, he placed Crawford firmly in the conversation of the greatest fighters ever, stressing the magnitude of what just happened in the ring.
Seeing Terence Crawford create greatness and beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, what was your thoughts on that performance from Terence?
From Terence Crawford, it's great performance, man. He's been doing this throughout the course of his career. The stakes were a lot different in this fight, a lot more danger. He had to fight that kind of fight in order to beat Canelo Alvarez tonight. And he did that at 37, but getting ready to be 38 years old. And he proved, like Max said, that he is the GOAT of this generation. Hats off to Canelo for taking the fight. He didn't have to take it. Hats off to Turki Al-Sheikh for putting it together. Just a great, great night for boxing.
Yeah. How special a fighter is someone like Terence Crawford? There was no signs of a size disadvantage there. How special?
You can see it in spots, but it wasn't significant. And I didn't think it was going to be significant. And people call me crazy, but I've been around Terence. He's strong. He's got a wrestling background, and people don't realize that he's been boiling himself down all these years and still being successful, not having to do that. His condition seemed impeccable, and his strength was there, the power was there enough to get respect from Canelo. So what more can I say?
What would you like to see him do next? Do you think there's another fight after this?
I'd like to see him be done. What are we boxing for at this point? What else is there to do? There's always going to be a YouTuber or a reporter or somebody conjuring up another challenge. We box to get ourselves in a better financial position, to build a name and a legacy. Those boxes are checked. What else?
Rising star Keyshawn Davis, who views Terence Crawford as both a mentor and inspiration, celebrated the win with pride and excitement. He called Crawford one of the GOATs, a title rarely given by young fighters unless the performance truly earns it. Davis praised how Crawford stuck to his game plan with precision, shutting down Canelo's rhythm from start to finish. For him, this victory wasn't just about getting the win, but about proving that true greatness comes from skill, intelligence, and hard work. His reaction showed how strongly this moment resonates with the next generation of fighters aiming to follow Crawford's path.
What's up, bro?
5, baby.
Yes, sir.
5 out here, my boy.
What do you think made the difference?
Back in that ring, King.
The speed, really.
Yeah.
I think it was the main factor. Canelo couldn't really keep up with him. He was too fast. His feet, footwork was too good.
Do you think the scores was right on, or do you think maybe it was a little more towards Bud?
What was the scorecards?
115, 113, 116, 112.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah?
I feel like Bud damn near basically won every round, so
yeah,
honestly. But yeah, that's about right. You can say that.
Now, with this accomplishment, Keyshawn,
Is he on the Mount Rushmore of
Hell
boxers?
yeah. Yes. Fuck yeah.
Yeah?
3-time undisputed. He just beat Canelo.
Yeah.
The face of boxing. So now you can say Bud is the face of boxing.
Greatest of all time, or?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it can never be one great,
Yeah.
but he definitely one of the greatest of all time, for sure.
Former heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis gave a blunt take on the fight, questioning how any judge could award Canelo 5 rounds when Crawford was clearly the more effective fighter. He noted that Canelo has always had trouble with opponents who use movement well, and Crawford's agility exposed that weakness once again. Although Lewis admitted he expected more explosive exchanges, he still praised the technical skill on display. His analysis pointed out both the flaws in Canelo's style and the adaptability that allowed Crawford to completely shut down the Mexican champion's offense.
Let me tell you, great fight. I was hoping that there was more action coming from Canelo. You know, I'm used to Canelo fighting that way all the time. He tried his best. He always has trouble against movers. I was really expecting them to be more punches, more movement by Canelo. What can you say?
This reminds me of the point that Jaya Patai made yesterday, and you picked up on it. He said he's coming in with all his belts. Terence looks like he's still hungry, and Canelo looks like he's whining and dining in his success. Do you think that might be the difference tonight?
Yeah, a little bit. I think it was a little bit of difference. The cat has got really fat, so he tried his best. I've seen Canelo box about many times, and I thought that this time he just boxed like he always boxes. And then I felt he couldn't really do nothing against Terence Crawford because Terence Crawford was too quick, too elusive. Anybody would find trouble with him, but Canelo couldn't find him.
The scorecards were 2 red, 115, 113. Were they right with the cards?
It was for Canelo to win a round. I say he won about 3 rounds in that fight. I was actually amazed at the way how Terence Crawford moved and never got hit, and threw combinations, because that's what you're supposed to do, throw combinations. So he threw combinations. He wasn't trying to knock out Canelo, but he definitely was throwing a lot of punches, a lot of combinations.
Roy Jones Jr., one of boxing's most skilled champions, was stunned by what he saw in Crawford's performance against Canelo. He noted that Crawford wasn't chasing a knockout but kept throwing sharp combinations that broke down Canelo round after round. Jones called it a beautiful display of skill, patience, and strategy, adding that Canelo has always struggled against fighters who use speed and movement, something Crawford exploited perfectly. For Jones, this wasn't just a win, but a dismantling of Canelo's usual style, leaving him without answers and proving beyond doubt who the superior fighter was that night.
It's a beautiful performance, exactly what I expected. All I want to see was Creed take the punch. If you take a punch, you know what will happen to Canelo.
Did you expect him to trade with Canelo like that on the inside?
Yes, we spoke on the airplane going to Dubai.
Yeah.
The only thing I told him was that you could not give Canelo the center of the ring. And earlier you gave it to him, but then he started outboxing and outsmarting with it, and he started taking it back at the right time. So he studied his film very well. He knew when to fight, when to move left and when to move right. It was a very smart fight. He completely frustrated Canelo.
Did you score it, Roy?
Huh?
Did you score it?
No, I didn't score it, but I think probably something like 8-4.
8-4?
Yep.
What do you think should happen next, Roy?
I have no clue.
Crawford put himself amongst the all-time greats like yourself with that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
5-weight world champion,
Yes.
3-weight undisputed champion.
Yes.
Where are you putting him in the all-time list?
Hard to beat that.
That wraps up today's video. Make sure to stay tuned for the next one.